Good morning, students. Welcome once again to my English classes. Students, as you all know, in my previous video, I was explaining you the poem The Schoolboy by William Blake. As I told you that The Schoolboy is a 1789 poem by William Blake and published as a part of his poetry collection entitled Songs of Experience. In this poem, The Schoolboy, it is written in the pastoral tradition that focuses on the downside of the formal learning. It considers how going to school on a summer day drives all joy away. The boy in this poem is more interested in escaping his classroom than he is with anything his teacher is trying to teach. So, in this poem, the poet describes the innocent nature and desires of a young boy. So, now you all can see the third stanza on page number 84. Then at times I drooping sit and spent many an anxious hour, nor in my book can I take delight, nor sitting in learning's bower, worn through with the dreary shower. So again in this line, the schoolboy is speaking. In these lines, the schoolboy describes how he spent his day at the school. Then at times I drooping sit. Yani, he is telling that how he is spending his day at the school. According to him, he often sits and spends a lot of time in boredom and spend many an anxious hour. He does not find any joy or happiness in the books. Nor in my book can I take a delight, means he does not find any joy or happiness in studying his books. Nor sit in learning's bower, worn through in with the dreary shower. Now, students, this line is quite confusing, which I will try to explain in an easy way. The schoolboy says that he does not feel any joy while sitting in learner's bower, which according to him is worn through with the dreary shower. So students, here in these lines, bower means a shady place under the tree. A tree is there and the shady place under it is known as bower. So this phrase, learner's bower, means a place where someone comes to learn. It can be school, it can be university, or it can be any other institution where people gather to get knowledge. So, learner's bower. Learner's bower, as per the schoolboy, in these lines, in this third stanza, is damaged or has a defect because it was hit by the dreary shower. See again the lines, nor sit in learning bower, worn through with the dreary shower. So according to the schoolboy, the learner bower is damaged or it is having a defect because it was hit by the dreary shower. Deary shower in simple language or in simple context means heavy rainfall, which is disastrous. However, when we try to compare both these things means deary shower and learner's bower, it means that the school's education system has been damaged, or in other words you can say that it has become defective. Now a question comes in the mind, why it is defective? It can be traced in the previous stanza. The second stanza, that in second stanza there was a line, under a cruel eye outworn. So it is defective because of the cruel eyes. A young student cannot learn under restrictions. He needs love, he needs liberty, he needs joy. But the cruel eye of the teachers and parents has destroyed the basic purpose of education. The students are compelled to learn those things which make them capable of acquiring materialistic things, and for that they have to give up all the things which would have otherwise made them a better human beings. So students, this is the meaning of your third stanza. Now you can see the next stanza, stanza number 4. How can the bird that is born for joy sit in a cage and sing? How can a child, when fears annoy, but droop its tender wing and forget his youthful spring? So again, in these lines, the schoolboy is speaking and he is asking a number of questions. He is putting forward a number of questions in this stanza. See the first line of the stanza. How can the bird that is born for joy sit in a cage and sing? This line is a question which has been asked by the schoolboy. So what he is asking here? He is asking, how can the bird that is born for joy sit in a cage and sing? Then he compares himself to a bird which has been put in the cage. He is comparing himself to a caged bird, and like the caged bird, he too loses his joy in the school, because the school appears to be like a cage for him. Then see the third line of this stanza. How can a child, when fears annoy, but droop his tender wing and forget his youthful spring? So again he is asking a question. How can a child, when fears annoy, but droop his tender wing and forget his youthful spring? Here he is saying that a child who is scared by the teachers and parents cannot forget the joy of liberty when the latter keep their spring. Here he says that a child who is scared by the teacher and parents cannot forget the joy of freedom, because the latter ones means here teachers and parents keep their wings locked, means teachers and parents are not giving full liberty to the students to enjoy their life. It means he is comparing himself to the bird whose wings has been locked in the cage. School, it appears like a cage for him, and his wings, they are locked, keeping their wings locked. So again in these lines, the school boy, he is describing himself, he is describing his life, and he continues saying that because of all these things he remains joyless. There is no joy in his life, there is no happiness in his life. It has all become dull. His life has totally become dull, and he is longing for his liberty. He is longing for his freedom. He wants to enjoy his life to the fullest.